Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Mark Graham. I live in Elk Grove. It's good to see you again. Today, my friend Sharon and I met with the city's planning director, Mr. Wilson, and the planning manager, Mr. Ablog. And the purpose of the meeting was to talk about this application that AT&T has filed with the city to amend the municipal code that I've mentioned before. For those that don't know, AT&T and Singular Wireless have filed an application with the city planning department, which is EG-18-006, to amend the municipal code, Title 23, Chapter 94, wireless telecommunication facilities. And the purpose of that proposed amendment is to specifically define, address, and ease the installation of what they call small cell communication facilities within public rights of way. That's a quote from their cover letter. In other words, to make it easier for them to install cell antennas on light poles and utility poles just a few steps away from homes and businesses in Elk Grove. This would be a big mistake. Now, the first thing is there is already good cell coverage in Elk Grove, and I'm not aware that there are any significant gaps in coverage. And for that reason alone, I don't think that we need this. Also, there's a process currently in place. We have a municipal code. It's been the city was incorporated in 2000. I'm sure we've had a municipal code since 2000. There was a process in place whereby AT&T can apply for permission to install this equipment. They can use that process. I think it works fine. It seems, after the meeting, that the city's moving full speed ahead with this proposal, but nobody knows about it. One of the good things that came out of the meeting was the planning director committed that by March 31st, he or his department will send out a notice to the 10 organizations that are shown on the right side of that first submittal that I sent. I think you have it, and the 9 neighborhood associations and the 23 homeowners associations in Elk Grove that will have a link to where they can go learn about this project. I think that in addition, there should be a description of the project from the city's point of view, the proposed amendment, a description of what the process will be, the council, the planning commission, and a timeline, a schedule. It's also, I learned today that AT&T has proposed an amendment with the city. An agreement. And I don't know how this fits in with their amendment. We're not able to see it because it's in a draft form and the city's attorney's office is working on it. I think that as soon as that's available for the public to see, everybody should see it. And here's what people need to know. If the city amends the municipal code for AT&T, then following that, they could come in with a stack of applications, 10 or 100, and it would be subject only to streamlined administrative review through Public Works. That's a direct quote from their cover letter. And in other words, you all on the council would not have any further input into it. You couldn't set any conditions. And the first time a person in Elk Grove would find out that AT&T or the other ones are planning to install one of these things right on the light pole or utility pole in front of their homes would be the day the truck pulls up in front of their home to install it. I've got more things to say and not enough time to say it. I think that, in particular, noise, you ought to control for noise, aesthetics, and location. If you don't put a certain condition in that agreement or the amendment to the municipal code that they're asking for, you will not be able to get it later. The city should look up how many times AT&T and the other telecom companies have sued a city to force the city to comply with their demands as far as installing their cell equipment. And you should, in my humble opinion, the city should if you make an agreement with the AT&T and you don't need to, you should do it with the assumption that they will sue the city to enforce it. And you will not be able to add anything later to protect the citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.